Welcome to the Alcohol Addiction Podcast. My name is Lee Davey. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who doesn't drink alcohol, and I spend every waking moment helping other people doing the same, just like right now in this particular moment. How are you doing, folks? Good to hear you again. It is now, at the time of recording this, Sunday, the 26th of August. I'm going to be back in the UK a little bit earlier than planned because, as I've said on previous podcast, I was in Bali. We felt the aftershocks from the Lombok earthquakes. It frightened me to death. So I decided to fly out back to Barcelona en route to UK. So I'm going to be in the UK September the 1st, not September the 14th, which means I can then start organizing some more one-to-one interviews with other people who know a little bit more about this alcohol thing than me and a little bit more interesting than me, and get back to the way we were doing things before. Sorry about that, but I had to look after myself and have a little trip around the world. Give me some feedback, though. Please email me at leedavypoker@gmail.com. All right, email me. Do you like the fact that I've been doing these little shorter bursts of just me monologuing about certain things about alcohol? Do you want to hear more of these going forward? Should we intersperse them between longer form interviews with some specialists and some shorter term ones? Also, what about frequency here? Do you like a podcast every day? Do you like a podcast every couple of days? Do you like one a week? How's it feel for you? Let me know, okay? All right, there are no new members in the Strive movement since I last spoken to you. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, folks? I know there are thousands of you listening to this podcast. Get your ass over to the Strive movement, will you? If you want to be someone that doesn't drink alcohol, and you obviously do, you won't be listening to this otherwise. You can't do it alone, all right? You need to take some action. Get over to the Strive movement and introduce yourself so I can say, oh, Fred, welcome to the Alcohol Addiction Podcast, all right? So get over there. Get over to the Strive movement, all right? So what do we want to talk about here? All right, okay. Get in there. This episode's called Get in There. Will be a quick one, all right? A little while ago, when I was in Jeju, which is a little island off the coast of South Korea, I stayed in this location, can't remember the name of it now, and basically it was a little kind of village focused on this huge big mountain, okay? It was called Seongsan Ilchulbong, probably butchered that, Seongsan Ilchulbong. And in a way, it reminded me, for all you old people, of that mounting in Close Encounters of the Third Kind that Richard Dreyfuss kept making out of mashed potato, all right? You remember that, folks? This Seongsan Ilchulbong in Jeju, South Korea, that's what it was like. And we had a hotel right underneath the view of this thing. Now, Jeju, South Korea is one hot place, okay? And I needed to get up this mountain and get back down with a 2-year-old daughter. Okay, we can't take any prams up there. It's a mountain. So I had to get up there and down with a 2-year-old daughter without her dying of heat exhaustion or whatever. So me and my wife decided to get up at 4:45 in the morning so we could get to the top to see the sunrise and walk and trek without the real merciless South Korean heat. Okay, and my daughter's heart is still beating. So boom, that worked, right? And we get up to the top of this mountain, stopping along the way to take some real breathtaking photographs. And when we got to the top, it was beautiful. We emerged at the top of the summit of Seongsan Ilchulbong, and there is a big, huge, like volcanic crater there that is just covered in greenery. It looks beautiful, this big dip. And everywhere flying up there was like dragonflies. There was so many dragonflies up there. It's unbelievable. It was a very, very special moment. I felt like King Kong swatting away all these planes at the top of the Empire State Building with so many dragonflies, right? But the point I want to get at is, although that moment, looking at the sun rising and looking at the boats and the sea afterwards and all the dragonflies in this big crater, that moment, as majestical as it was, it kind of went in a heartbeat. Like, it was there, you're taking photographs, and it's done and dusted. What is really important when you have these moments is to think back. You know, let's not forget the night before, where my wife and I decided and organized that we were going to get up at 4:45 to avoid the heat, to see the sunrise. Let's not forget the night before that we got 3 cooling towels and we soaked them and we put them in a bag so we could wear them on our head. Let's not forget that we only took specific things up there in our rucksack that we really, really needed. Let's not forget that we took a load of water, a load of nuts. Let's not forget the selfie stick. But there were a load of things that we prepared for in advance. We prepared that I would take my daughter up and my wife would bring her down, okay? We had all these things prepared the night before. And let's not forget the night before, the tension and the anxiety that we felt about this impending trip. I remember at one point in the time, I nearly put it off because of the heat. You know, I was like, oh, let's do it another day. Classic procrastination, classic resistance, all right? So let's not forget the preparation. Let's not forget anxiety. Let's not forget the tension. And then let's not forget the steps along the way, okay? Let's not forget the journey from base camp to the summit, because it's not all about the summit, okay? The major primary enjoyment and challenge here is actually getting up the fucking mountain with a 2-year-old on your back. It was really difficult. Strenuously, strength-wise, it was really difficult. There were times when I just had to put my head down and say to myself, one step, one step, one step. You know, I just had to get through it. It was really important that I just had to get through it. And it was the cumulative actions of all that preparation, okay, and all our organization, and then the hard work of just fucking getting it done, and then experiencing the pain, experiencing the suffering, but also at the same time experiencing the joy of change, experiencing the visual change around me. That is what defines us when we are goal-seeking creatures, right? It's not the accomplishment of the goal that is the most important part. It's the journey getting there. If any of you are Gary Vaynerchuk fans, Gary Vaynerchuk is a marketing branding guru who wants to buy the New York Jets or something like that. And Gary Vaynerchuk says he'll be pretty sad when he buys the New York Jets because it will be over. What he loves, what he enjoys, what is his life is getting enough money, the process of him creating content so he can earn the money to buy the New York Jets. That journey, that process is his life. That is his life force. That is his energy, okay? You are listening to this because you want to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol. At some point, that will happen. Like for me right now, I don't drink alcohol. I remember the time when I took the vow not to drink alcohol. I don't know the date. But I remember saying, I'm not drinking again. And the moment I remember, I went to a poker tournament in Nanty Moyle Rugby Club the day after I decided I wasn't going to drink. I remember it. You know, it was a really nice moment. But it was nothing compared to the journey, the excitement, the misery, the pain, the joy, the suffering, the exaltation of the process of becoming someone who doesn't drink alcohol. That transition, that change from someone who does drink alcohol, and it's a fucking waste of space and a real selfish bastard, to somebody who doesn't drink alcohol, who is very present, loving, a beautiful man who likes to serve and help other people, right? Do not overlook the value of process here, because without it, we're never going to reach the summit, okay? We're never going to reach the summit. This is a paradigm shift, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to change an area of your life that you have never changed before. You are going to not become a different person or a better version of you. You're going to rediscover who you really are. You're going to rediscover the person, the loving, serving, beautiful person that you were before you resigned to become a member of the cultural conditioning society group of the world, okay, or whatever part of the world you exist, when you was a teenager, because that is what happened. At some point when you was a teenager, you had to make a decision about whether or not you was going to continue to be who you were, this loving, beautiful person, and be shunned by society, or you were going to have to shun your own personal you, hide it around layers of rules, bullshit, masks, so you could just copy the rules and be like everybody wanted you to fucking be, so you could fit in, all right? When you become someone who doesn't drink alcohol, you are back to that beautiful person, okay? But this is different because you're not a teenager anymore. You're 30, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70. And we're going to build up that confidence through the Strive movement, the Truth About Alcohol, life-changing experience, those type of experiences where you could turn around and say to the world, fuck you, this is who I am. This is who I am, baby. Like me or fuck off. There's 7 billion people in the planet. If you don't like me, I'll find one that does. If you don't love me, I'll find one that does. If you don't want to sleep with me, I'll find someone who does. If you don't have children with me, I'll find someone who fucking does. If you don't want to go to a bar with me and not drink alcohol, I'll find somebody who does. Right? Because I am not changing who I am for any fucker, right? I am who I am. I love myself first. The work I do on becoming someone who doesn't drink alcohol is on me first. I come first. Because if I don't get my shit together first, if I don't put my metaphorical oxygen mask on first, how can I fucking help anybody else? I won't be able to because I will be dead. I would have run out of breath, okay? So we have to look after ourselves first. That's what we're doing here, okay? So the process to become someone who doesn't drink alcohol, the most fundamental change you're ever going to make in your life cannot be willy-nilly. It has to be very organized. It has to be very structured. You have to do a lot of work. It has to be enjoyable as well. Strive movement, radical honesty experience, this alcohol addiction podcast, the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience. These are parts of the process you need to invest time and money in if you are going to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol. And it doesn't just end here. This is not, I am not the only person in the world that's helping people to become someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Take the 1 year no beer challenges. Take Annie Grace's course. Stella, who is a striver, is going to fly to America to watch Annie Grace live, right? Doesn't mean she's still not a striver, does it? Okay. Belle, tired of thinking about drinking. There are so many people who are strivers. Doug is a striver who loves the work that Belle does, who loves the work that Annie Grace does. Okay? Find as many resources as you can, but enjoy the process as you're getting there. Okay? What date is it? It is Sunday, 26th of August, right now. We were supposed to run an 8th life-changing experience today. I had to postpone that because as I was flying out of Bali, when I was in the airport, my daughter collapsed. So I had to take her to hospital, okay? She was suffering from dehydration. She had diarrhea. She's fine now. Don't worry about it. She's all cool. But it meant that I had to, it was just a fucking nightmare, as you can imagine. I thought she was dead at one point. And anyone who's got kids knows it's a horrific thing when your children are ill. So it put me back a lot, all right? So we're going to run course 8 a week today. All right, so that date is, let me just quickly check my calendar. That date is Sunday, the 2nd of September. Now, there are 3 people on that course already. Glynis is on that course. Lindy is on that course. Kendra is on that course. I'm hoping that another person, Adrian, will be joining that course. I am going to be meeting Adrian sometime this week in Barcelona. He heard me on the podcast saying I'm in Barcelona, and Adrian is here, so he wants to talk to me. So let's hope Adrian joins that course. That means there will only be 1 space left. So if you want to take it up, folks, send me an email at leedavypoker@gmail.com. That's LEEDAVY poker@gmail.com, and we'll get you on that experience, okay? Remember, there is no goal. You don't achieve a goal without going through a process to get there. And that process to get there, like my process of getting to the top of Seongsan Ilchulbong, has to be enjoying. It has to be challenging. And a lot of times it has to be suffering. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions whatsoever, email me at leedavypoker@gmail.com or the truth about alcohol@gmail.com. Whatever. Take care, folks. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.